Welcome to Who's Up Next, a video podcast for journal junkies. I'm Sally Bell, your host, and I will be interviewing one of our favorite artists. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's see who's up next. Hello, I'm Sally from Who's Up Next and Rainy Day Gypsy. And today our guest is Janet Schmitz from Mixed Media Mama. And welcome, Janet.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. So appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's really fun to have you, actually. I love it. You are in Nebraska,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about Nebraska. Tell us about your life. I noticed in some of your little bleeps on some of your social media, you talk about your family a lot, and that's very important to all of us. So, yeah, tell us about that.
Well, thank you very much for asking me. I so appreciate you. And of course, I am a lover of art and lover of community. So thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I live in Nebraska, in the farther northern eastern part of Nebraska. I am close to my oldest and my youngest sons. I have 3 adult children and 1 grandson and 1 on the way. Don't know what it is yet.
You don't know what it is yet. Oh, how fun.
I do not want to know, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
And our daughter lives in a big metropolis city in Nebraska. And which is Omaha.
Oh, okay.
So she absolutely loves Omaha, and which is fine, which is not very far from where I live also. We just purchased recently, back in December, purchased a small house to be closer to the grandson. And that is where I am from now living.
Forget the kids, it's the grandson.
Yeah, exactly. It's really close to the kids. And so that's the main reason why we still live in closer to where we used to live. We still have the farm, and the farm is so inspiring to me. Nature is so inspiring to me in art. You cannot get a better teacher than Mother Nature.
Right. I agree.
That's one of the reasons what attracted me to where I am now in this beautiful log cabin home. So my husband is a farmer by love. Do you have any of those?
Well, my dad, I was raised on a farm until I was about 9 years old, and my dad was a farmer. He loved it, but he was he was very innovative, and he went on to be a building contractor in Sun Valley, Idaho, and so that was his love, I think, more than farming.
Oh, that's fabulous. I can really relate to that because my husband has that engineering mind. He is a service tech for a small company, and he's very brilliant. He's got this engineering mind of fixing things. That's probably one of the reasons why I married him, because he's just a phenomenal fixer. And but his love is the dirt. His love is the nature.
The dirt.
his crops and cattle. And so we still have our farm.
That's great. I loved that life.
It is. It's such a connection. It really fuels you.
It was, I don't imagine it was simple for my dad, but as a child, it seemed like it was so simple and so, there was nothing to worry about. It was like, this is this is what we do. We have all the animals. We have,
Yeah.
it was great. I loved it.
It's a great place. Nature is really a wonderful place to raise children. And that's
Mm-hmm.
really where I really dove into nature and into the farm when we first got married. I am not an artist by education. My education is all business and medical.
Huh?
And however, I have a lineage of artists in my
Oh,
family.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it goes back as far as I can research it back, and as far as I know, it goes back 3 generations.
Oh,
And
goodness. That's great.
yeah, and it's phenomenal because I never knew. I never knew until I started to get into this just interest of
Mm-hmm.
mixed media, painting and stuff, goops. And then I found out, and I had 2 aunts who were just phenomenal artists.
Oh,
And then
wow.
it goes, and they told me stories and went back another generation, and I suspect even the 3rd generation back. And
Jeez.
it's
You
didn't
got
have,
that gene.
yes, and it just popped up because I definitely
That's
have
great.
no formal education of art.
Right.
But it's
Don't you think those are the best, though? They come by it naturally, and to sit in an art class, for instance, you come out of there and you've learned everything that every other student has learned, and there's no individuality, or I don't know. I
absolutely,
think it's better
absolutely.
a self-learned artist,
Yeah,
I think
I
is
do. Oh, absolutely. It is so wonderful that you said that because I do believe that because
right,
because we have no boundaries. We are very
right.
determined and we have a natural curiosity
Mm-hmm.
of what if I wonder
Right,
what, and things
right,
like that. And I just think that is so needed.
right.
Um, we're determined. We're curious. I always call myself to my kids, I am the curious George of the family because I
That's
will
cute.
always, and that's really naturally how I think anyway. I'm
Uh-huh.
asking why. I'm always asking,
I do
um,
that.
not
Mm.
to be a pain in anybody's behind, but I'm always because I'm curious. I
Yeah,
really,
I'm curious. I want to know too. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always delving into something.
Mhm. And
Hence
that
the
really
podcast.
helps. Absolutely. That really helps this because in my world, in mixed media, I have no boundaries.
Right. Ooh,
Uh,
you do some great stuff.
oh, thank you. Thank you. It is
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I've done crafts ever since I was a little kid and everything you can imagine. And this is my favorite by far.
Yeah.
Junk
Yeah.
journaling, all this good stuff. But
Yeah.
I noticed in your journals and in your things that you really put the stuff in there. I mean, you don't just have pages. You have it full of goodies. I can't believe it. It's like a wonderland, you know?
It, it's a double-edged sword, I am telling you.
I know
Well,
that's one reason I never get one done on time.
oh yeah, yes, I do. I am a very detailed oriented person, not
Mhm.
in the fact that I am an OCD person. I'm
Right,
definitely not that. But I look for the details. I see what inspires me and then I don't want to replicate or copy. I want to
right,
put my own flair,
right, right,
take that technique or that look
right.
and put it in there. And in my mind, more is more. That's after.
Same. And it's not like it always works the first time either. Sometimes I have to do something 2 or 3 times before I'm pleased with it.
Absolutely. No one sees our mistakes,
Right,
our
right,
failures. And
right.
when I was teaching art, probably about 12 to 15 years ago, I was teaching
Uh-huh.
art at a store, a local store. And and I was teaching mixed media, and I was always
Uh-huh.
saying, you will get to a point that you won't like what you have in front of you. I said, you go through the storm, you go through what you don't like, and keep forging and trusting the process, because that's what you just got to keep on going. And when you do, you will come out on the other side, and you will, 9 times out of 10, you will like what you do.
That's
But
great advice. That's
it's
great
going
advice.
through, and it's just trusting the process. Trust, because
Right.
I'm not the first one that's done this. I'm
Right.
just
Right.
doing it at my, so there's been many people before us. And so I trust their lineage. I trust their process, what they've known. And it's like, nah, 9 times out of 10, yeah, it works. But that one time, I might have to redo it a couple of times.
Right. Well, also I find that I can sit there and do something. I'm thinking, that didn't turn out what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. And so I will make myself get up and walk away for a while, even overnight. And then the next day I come back and I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of cool. I'm going to leave it. That's
Yeah,
interesting, because
yeah,
what we want to do in our head sometimes doesn't come out that
yeah.
way. But, and it throws a loop in things. And then you walk back and you think, wow, I
Right.
like it.
I think that is also the intuitive process. I think it's, or in this word expectation, even though we don't think we have an expectation going into a project, or,
Right.
I think that is, I really wish I could just throw that word expectation out of the English language, because it doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
It really puts boundaries, and I think it really kind of intuitively makes not what the project should be. I
Right.
really try, and this is the hardest hurdle, is I just really try to not think, intuitively go through, start out, because I just did a video yesterday
Mm-hmm.
on a thinking outside of the box on small leather journals. I am a design team member for Elizabeth Craft Designs, and,
Yes.
and it's just the greatest. It's so much fun. And
Oh.
I'm on one of the 5 teams that is there.
Wow.
It's just phenomenal. And
Oh, fun.
I was to think, it is just fantastic. And I was
That's,
thinking how to make these covers of journals, because they're kind of a faux leather cover. These
uh-huh.
covers of journals even better, or what if? And I always approached every project. I wonder what if I did this and this. I wonder what it would look like.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
really
cool.
kind of the outlook. I try not to have any expectations. I
Mm-hmm.
really try not to overthink, and that's a hard one.
Right.
It
Right.
really is.
I,
And
I
so
get that a lot from my family. Mom, don't overthink it. Don't overthink
yeah,
it.
just
Not necessarily about journaling, but about everything in life.
yeah, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Instinctively, we should just kind of go with that first thought, and
Right.
because that's what a great sixth sense, so to speak. And I think
Mm-hmm.
every person has it, male or female, has that intuitiveness of thinking, just going with their gut.
I have friends that say, oh, I'm not artistic. I can't draw a stick figure, blah, 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 blah. But, I believe that everyone is artistic in their own way. And,
Abs-
that's what makes art so wonderful, that, it's not all the same.
Yeah. I so agree with that, Sally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at my husband and I. We
Mm-hmm.
are polar opposites in
Mm-hmm.
that way, because he said to me when I was first coming in this a gazillion years ago, he says, I'm just not artistic. And I went, you are, because he can make robotic machines
Yeah.
sing,
Yeah. And,
and
that to me is art.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Everybody, I so firmly agree with you. Everybody
Yeah.
is artistic in their own
Right.
way.
And people can cultivate it and get better at what they do.
Mhm, mhm.
But even if you feel that you weren't born with an artistic bent, I think that you can find it deep down in there somewhere.
Yeah. I think it has to start with the desire. And I think
Yeah,
that's
there you
what
go.
happened, with I think with all artists or with everyone, it has to have a desire. Sometimes I even pray. It's like, okay, give me the desire to be, so I can desire
Yes,
something, because
yes,
I don't, I'm just sitting here. And so I want to have that desire and
right,
desire to desire. And it is. And I think everybody, just has to find their own journey, their own way
right,
of getting there. And there is no right or wrong way to get there.
right,
There
right,
just isn't. You just have to keep on going
right,
forward, and hopefully we'll learn from our past mistakes. And I
right,
think that is, we also, through the whole process, is we need to give ourselves a lot of grace, a lot of
right,
forgiveness for
right,
mistakes, and look at the beauty even in the simplistic part of
right,
art.
right.
Um,
I'm not looking to be a Michelangelo. I'm
exactly.
just looking, I'm not looking to be a Michelangelo. I'm just enjoying what I do, enjoy the process. And if somebody likes it, that's great. But if I love it, it's even greater.
Yeah, absolutely. I so agree. And if I
Yeah,
can help to inspire someone or give another person joy, done
right.
deal.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When you see those subs go up on your YouTube channel, it's like, oh, somebody liked that. You know? Gives you a
Yes.
little boost like, oh, yeah, they liked my stuff. That's
Yeah.
great. And
And
journaling,
yeah.
sometimes you have a theme for your journal, but oftentimes every page is a new journal. You know what I mean? Like every
Yes.
page you think, what am I going to do here? Sure, same colors, whatever, but not necessarily the same theme. You just find the little goodies and go with it.
Hmm. Exactly.
And
And
that's I
sometimes,
think is intriguing to me.
yes, yes. And sometimes when the blank page kind of faces you and hits you in the face, and and that happens to everyone. I mean, everybody
Right.
has a dry spell. Everybody needs inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's life is the same for everyone.
Right.
And uh, when you just need to start somewhere,
Right. Right.
whether it's just simply and cutting out, or simply and playing with whatever, simply gluing down, or simply,
Right.
painting. However, whatever your jam is,
Right.
you need to start somewhere, and it will just kind of flow over, and
Yeah.
pretty soon you're creating, and you go,
Yeah. You don't even
wow,
know.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I've done in this last journal that I'm working on is there's that blank page. What am I going to do? I don't want to look
Mhm.
like the last three. And I started collaging the background a little bit. Or like you
Mhm.
said, paint. I'm
Mhm.
taking a class from Annalise Journaling, Annalie Erickson, and
Yes.
she has some great classes on her Etsy, by the way. And she paints, and gessos and does some fun things like that. And it makes a really good background. And okay, now you're started. Now
Right.
you can find all sorts of things to do on that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And she
So,
is, I follow her
oh,
tremendously.
her
I
stuff,
absolutely love her.
her
In
stuff
fact,
is like none other.
yeah. And her teaching style is so easygoing, and it's
Yeah.
so genuine and authentic. And
Right.
of course,
And she
anybody,
is too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
She's
yes.
really a neat lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really is. And here, that was a great starting, great point that you had said. When you do your master boards or whatever you're doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of put it to, and then you come back, say the next 2 weeks or whatever. When you come back,
Right.
that's something, and it's not so intimidating because it's already
Right.
started. That
Yeah.
project is already started, and those are the easier ones that I find I can do. So when I'm doing things that what our great friend Annalise has taught or has suggested, doing the master boards. I do a buttload of master boards, and then I
Do
just
you?
let
They're
set.
fun. I like.
And then I
Yeah.
let them set, because then it's not so intimidating for me to
Yeah.
come back. It's
Good
a
idea.
it's a springboard to go into something else, whatever it is I want to make.
Right. Oh, I like that.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. I do. I've done the master boards and then cut them up into tags, and oh, they make such great tags. And then you embellish those, and you just keep going.
Yeah,
Those are fun. I loved it.
yeah, yeah.
Have you ever, when you talk about thinking outside the box, have you ever read, I can't think of the name of the book, but I think it's Twyla Thorpe. And she's great. She's a ballet dancer. And she said, think outside the box, but first you have to have a box. And I always thought, oh, yeah, what box are we thinking outside of? We got to have a box. And
Yeah.
she suggests, a real box and throw your idea. And she doesn't talk about journaling, but she talks about creative things. She did this big thing with Billy Joel. And she said, I just started throwing things in the box that I wanted to include in this project. And so, you need a box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really interesting that you say that. I have just recently, the first part of the year, I don't like to do any goal setting, because me, in my mind, I always never get past like the first week.
Right.
So,
That's awful. I do the big calendar, the big planner every January.
but
Oh, I love it.
I have started a list of ideas, and I pretty much put them on my phone, but I started a list of ideas, and it could be little things or big things, and it could
Right.
be, things that I want to get done or I never get get them done, but they're out of my head and
Yeah.
on something.
And you
And
can refer
yes,
back.
yes, I do.
Right. Good idea.
It's also, talk about a springboard. It also is an inspiring, because I go every once in a while, go back to that list, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot
I was
about
going to
that.
do that.
And then that inspires me to do something else, so it
Yes.
really is. Whether it's writing them down, putting them in a box,
Right.
writing them down,
Yeah.
putting them into a
In your
jar,
phone.
or,
Right.
or in your phone, same concept. But it's
Right.
really we need to have that inspiration.
Well, in
And
that organization,
yeah,
don't you think? Like
yeah,
I need, I have thoughts going in and out of my head all day and all night. And, it's nice if there is a place to put those
yeah,
in my planner.
yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter. Here's the other thing. It does not matter if we use them or not.
Right, right. But they're
It's,
there and you might not use them for years. And it's
yeah,
kind of nice to have that
absolutely.
goal or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, in
Absolutely.
fact, I've read I don't know where, but in your planner, in fact, I designed my planner. See, that was just another artistic thing. I don't necessarily use it, but it was fun to make. But I have my 5-year goals, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year goals. Those are fun to do because you'll see that now and again you'll go in, say, hey, I need this 3-year goal. I need to move it back down to the 1-year goal
Oh,
and move this one up here. And,
mhm.
it's like you kind of know where you're headed.
Mm.
And I haven't done that most of my life. And it's kind of like, wow, this is interesting because I actually have a goal,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it might take 5 years to get there.
Yeah. I think that's a really good aspect. And I think another point is that being so spontaneous for me, I really struggle with that goal setting. And
Mm-hmm.
I think because I'm kind of just go with the flow type of a person. And
Mm-hmm.
my husband is that goal setting person.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah,
He keeps you on track.
has the 1 year, 1
Yeah.
week, and he's
Right.
got all of these goals. But he also helps me to just stop and think, what would I like to achieve? So
Right.
in my way, I do that goal setting.
Right. Same
And,
thing.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
is. I can see a great difference for me since January, because
uh-huh.
I put it onto my phone
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen things accomplished. And
And
however I can do the same thing as you're saying, it's
uh-huh.
wonderful because it's Janet version.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you think that gets rid of some of our anxiety if we actually see that we're accomplishing what we want to, rather than just flying by the seat of our pants and like,
Absolutely.
oops, I forgot that, or I wish I'd done that, or a
Yeah.
little planning helps me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
do
mean,
the
I don't
same.
sit around and stew
Yeah.
about things, but it's
Absolutely.
nice to have
Yeah.
a goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. I bring that same concept within when I do art too, and it doesn't matter if I work with the paper or if I do mixed media. I
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that if I have all of the supplies in the world, I don't do. But if I limit myself to 3 or 5 supplies, then
Yeah.
I do. It's kind of like goal setting. You know,
Uh-huh.
I know that me being fly by the seat of the pants, I can be a butterfly or a hummingbird sometimes.
Right.
But if
Right.
I'm going to reel me back and say, okay, work with 5 things
Yeah.
here,
That's
I do so
interesting.
much, I do so much
That's
better.
Yeah. And your studio doesn't get so junked up.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm always pulling out things, and at the end of each project, I have to go through and do a clean sweep. But yeah, that's a good idea just to play with certain things. The one project you have on YouTube that was interesting to me was the little tin that you had, and you had all your little leftovers, and you made that little book out of the leftovers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a cute idea. I
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah. We
I could
all
make a
have stuff.
zillion of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Houses.
I love the one with the butterfly and the mica. Was that that wasn't the leftovers, but I love the butterfly and the mica.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that was the leftovers. That
was
butterfly
it? Okay, I love that
was
one.
the leftovers. Yes, I
Yeah.
did we were doing that. That came from Elizabeth Craft Design, David's
Uh,
new release back in February, and
uh-huh.
I did this huge envelope. Actually, it was inspired by Louise Heinzel,
Oh,
and
I love her.
yeah, she is a Tim Holtz maker,
Ah.
and
Yeah,
she
yeah, she uses a lot of his stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
she
Yeah.
really is a phenomenal inspiration because I did an envelope journal, very similar but different. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
incorporate, and that butterfly and mica was the leftovers from
Oh,
that. And
gotcha.
I just went, I'm not going to throw these
No.
butterflies negative of the die that cut the butterfly.
Yeah.
And I just went, I've got to use these somehow. And of course, they're in a big box.
Mm,
And so I just go, rummaging through the box. And
right.
there again, I took out probably 7 or 10. I like odd numbers.
Oh,
So
yeah, I do too.
seven and
Yeah.
10 pieces from this leftover from this project and put
Uh-huh.
them on my desk. And I went, oh, and that's where the wheels start turning. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, I like this. I think I can,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I want to put this and then I go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Then you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those rabbit holes will get me too. Um, there's another thing that you do that I was very uh, intrigued with. You do a lot of embossing, and you do it so well.
Oh,
I don't
thank
know how yeah, I don't know how to get it that well.
you.
I don't know what you do, but
I don't either.
it's it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one butterfly you did that was I think it was kind of a teal. I
Yes.
think. I
Yeah.
don't know how you got it that perfect.
Yeah. It,
Wow. I need
I
to
do.
come watch.
I love my goops, and that's the thing that I have learned, and it's been really a struggle sometimes, is to combine my two passions. Us
Mm-hmm.
us as artists, we have we just like to dabble in this, dabble in that, dabble in that.
Right.
And
Right.
I just have decided probably in the last 10 to 15 years, I really got to reel it in because I'm
Yeah.
spreading out too much. And I really need to reel it in and perfect
Mm-hmm.
craft. And
Right.
so I am a paper junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mixed media goop artist. I mean, so it's like that's almost two polar opposites, but I
Oh, the
have
combination is
I've learned how to combine the two and
right.
use just a little bit on paper or a lot on, something hard, a hard
Mm-hmm.
substrate. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really fine tuning those two passions. And I've been having so much fun.
That's
So
great. Well, one of my questions for you was if nobody has seen your work, how would you describe it? And you kind of just did that
right.
in a way. Yeah.
I do 2 to 3 art shows a year, and I'm getting ready for my first one in the spring in Omaha,
Ah.
actually.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people have asked me that too. Wow, that is really different. You go from your journals, and then you have these violins or these plates or
Yeah.
whatever. And I describe it this way, and I say, well, I am a mixed media artist because I combine the two passions
Mm-hmm.
and I put in the reusable things that people like to throw away.
Yeah.
And it forces me to take their trash, take their junk, and
Uh-huh.
put it in because I am like everybody else. I throw away too much. But
Yeah.
from a farm, we have a lot of reusable things. I go
Right.
to the Quonset, and my husband had 5 gallon buckets of screws and nuts,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
rust
yeah.
goodness, and
Oh, yeah.
like Christmas for me.
Yes. I go to the junk place and I say to the guy, "Do you have any old rusty screws or rusty little
Yeah,
bits and bobs?" And he says, well, yeah, kind of. You sure you want those? Oh, yeah. I'm
yeah,
sure he thinks I'm nuts. I haven't really gone into detail what I do with them, but,
yeah. I'm
but
pretty.
I'm sure he probably gets several women that do that. I don't.
Yeah.
So tell me tell me what social media you use. Obviously, YouTube.
Well, I am definitely on Facebook. I have Mixed Media Mama, and it's
Mm-hmm.
MOMMA.
Yeah,
Mixed.
we'll list that all below.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I am on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Those are the
Okay.
3 platforms that I do. I do pretty much a lot of videos, and then I link them over into
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and Facebook.
Great.
On my personal, I try to just link into those videos.
Uh huh.
Um, and of course email. People can get a hold of me either through any of those platforms or my
Uh
email.
huh.
And I
Great.
usually have it listed on my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
YouTube is under Janet Schmitz, and everything else is under Mixed Media Mama.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. I love your stuff.
Oh,
I
thank
have
you.
fun. I
Thank
have
you.
fun watching. I'm gonna go run through my scraps today and see what I can make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm finishing up a journal and there's a couple pages that I can use some of your ideas.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Um, what else do I have to ask you? Do you want to do a little lightning round and we'll see what your personality really is
Absolutely.
all
I
about?
love these. Bring it on, Sally.
Okay, let's start with tea dye or coffee dye.
Oh man, right out of the gate, you have to do the hard one. Jeez. I would probably go coffee dye.
Yeah,
Coffee
you
dye.
can
I
do the
usually
coffee dye.
coffee dye every single thing.
Do you?
Uh, yeah, I do
Do,
from fabrics to paper to um, everything. It's coffee dye. Yeah,
coffee
and the
dye.
deeper
Okay.
the coffee, the better. I find.
Yeah. Okay. How about do you drink coffee or tea?
I do both.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
start
do
with
too.
coffee and I end up with tea, usually green tea.
Yeah. Okay. I like some flavored stuff now and again, but it's green. Yeah. How about cats or dogs?
Cats, Catwoman.
Mm.
She's
Are
sleeping.
you?
She's sleeping
Aw.
in the cat tree right
Aw.
now. Anyways,
Aw.
cats.
Yeah.
I love all fur babies, but I am a cat
Yeah.
woman.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
How about snow or rain?
Oh, rain.
Mm.
I
That's
love
interesting.
the sound of rain.
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do too. I don't
yeah,
want to go out in it. I don't mind going out in snow, but rain, you get wet.
yeah,
Well, I guess you do with snow too.
yeah.
How about Coke or Pepsi?
Neither.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were telling me earlier about the health thing that your
Yeah,
mother did.
yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that because it
I,
sounds like you kind of are like you really
yeah.
take care of yourself.
Try to.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, I come from a medical background. That's
Uh-huh.
actually what my first vocation is, motherhood,
Uh,
and
yeah.
three fabulous, and now grandmother. I wear that very proudly.
Oh, I know.
Um, it's better than being a mother, let me tell you. And
I
I
know.
totally get it. It is the
Yeah,
greatest, and I don't care if it's my grandchildren or other people's. I just go, oh,
I know. I
and just
love little kids.
oh,
Yeah.
across the
Well,
board.
big kids too. I love them all, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
Yes. And so I come from a medical background. It's a natural medical background. Both my mother and I are retired massage therapists.
Uh-huh.
My mother started in the business back in the 70s, and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
dates, sorry. And when I remember when I was seventh grade,
Uh-huh.
she had an issue with her health, and she just decided that she was going to go and figure out the best way to fix it. And because of that drive, and now
Mm-hmm.
you see it where I get it, my daughter
Mm-hmm.
gets it. She started her health business very small and went into massage therapist, got her
Uh-huh.
master's in nutrition, got her
Wow.
doctorate in naturopathic, and so ended up as a doctor in preventative medicine.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
Wow.
I know I mean, and I think
Ah.
every mother was kind of like this, because I grew up in
Yeah.
knowing from gardening to eating. Doesn't mean that I followed the line,
Right.
no, but I
Right.
got educated, and now it is now generational. Because of that, it has gone down into grandchildren. My niece, her granddaughter, my mom's granddaughter, is now
Uh-huh.
a scientist and has
Wow.
formed a company with my mother, 90 years
Oh,
old mother,
gosh.
formed a company of creating a sweet, natural gummy bear,
Oh.
and is manufacturing that in my hometown. It
My
is
gosh, that is so
phenomenal.
cool.
We've
That
got
is
a
unreal.
phenomenal array of strong women in my family, and it is of all of all from scientists to medical to business to
Wow.
art.
Artists.
Oh, it is so, it's just so wonderful. And so that's where I come from. And now being a retired, between the two, mom and I think we probably have close to 50 years. She has just under 30, and I have about 22, 25 years.
Uh-huh.
And I got out of the business because I was wearing out,
Yeah.
and because I was doing medical massage, and I just kind of jumped right into teaching art. There was a local store here about an hour away that
Uh-huh.
sought me out, and I started to
Wow.
teach art, and that
That's
was about 10
yeah.
years ago. And
Wow.
then it just kind of grew and grew, and now I'm on my own,
Uh-huh.
and of teaching and creating, and it's love. I just love the journey. I just really
Yeah.
truly, and I think every step makes us a better artist, a better
Right.
person. And
Right.
so yes, I try to eat Well, I try to drink, so I don't drink any pop
Oh,
because
back to the Coke and Pepsi. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
You're not a Coke and Pepsi. Okay.
yeah. So
That was
I
a long
oh,
way to get back to the Coke and Pepsi.
yes,
That was
yes.
very interesting. Yeah. You brought me back to the lightning round. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Let's
you
see.
for letting me
Oh,
do.
yeah. Lennon or McCartney?
Oh, McCartney.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh, definitely. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, let me look at my list because I have not done this for a while. Pancakes or waffles?
waffles. The texture.
Yeah. Whipped cream and berries. Oh, you
Yeah,
probably don't do that.
yeah. No, well, I'll do berries, but
Berries.
the texture of the waffles. I
Yeah.
am just that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, red or black licorice?
I'm an odd person. Black.
Oh, me too. Me too. I love black. I mean, the real stuff, you know?
Yes. Yes. There was a lady
Yeah.
who just came from Iceland. She traveled with her daughter to Iceland for
Uh
a
huh.
vacation, and I'm pretty sure it was Iceland. And she
Uh huh.
came back with um, black licorice, chocolate covered. I have never tasted something so delicious in all my life. It was so good,
Wow. Well,
so good.
there's something in the United States, I think, that you can't make the real licorice. They've taken, do you know about that?
Mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm,
Okay.
no.
I think if you get like the real licorice, it has to come from somewhere else.
Well,
They
that's
don't know.
sad because us
There's
licorice
something in it that they don't allow.
us licorice people, we would really enjoy that.
I know it's not like just going and getting Twizzlers or something. It's
Yes,
like,
no,
yeah,
no,
the real stuff
good
is, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
One more, country life or city life, and I think I know this one.
A country life with flares of city. I like to go.
Okay.
I like to go to the city, but do really like to come home. I
Right.
can dive into my little 800 square foot house here,
I
and I
love
can
that.
be here for days without anybody. I live in a great community. It's a
Uh-huh.
little 3 street community, but
Oh,
I
fun.
absolutely love hibernating for weeks.
Yes, I do too. I do
Yeah,
too. And
I
so
love
your little house is a little cabin, log cabin.
it is. It is.
Oh, that's my dream.
The older I get, the more things that I don't need. And outside,
Right.
I'll sacrifice on everything except my art.
Yeah, exactly. You need that big studio with lots of drawers, right?
12 by 16. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, so what? I think I know the answer to this one. What or who inspires you the most?
Oh. There's many things. I have nature inspires me. Water calms me.
Oh,
That
yeah.
really,
I thought
water,
you'd say nature. Yeah.
yeah, nature really inspires me.
Uh-huh.
Color inspires me.
What
People that
does? I'm sorry.
what color.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
People asked me what color is my favorite, and I say all colors.
Right.
Literally, all colors inspire
Right.
me. Um,
Exactly.
I'm a paper junkie. I love texture. So you talk about waffles or pancakes, it's the texture. And in my art, you will see the texture. I love to have dimension I love that
Oh, I
eating
can see
texture.
that.
If I'm
Yeah.
eating a salad, I have to have some things that crunch,
Ah,
or if I'm eating,
yeah.
it permeates in all areas of my life.
Oh, that's
I'm just
interesting.
kind of that weird person, but it really makes It really
Yeah.
makes a difference to me
Yeah,
because
that's
stop it, and I
um
really truly enjoy, like for instance, I had no idea outside of my front window we have two big bushes and upcoming these pretty little purple flowers.
ooh.
I didn't have a clue that they were there, but I sit and I look at it and I think, oh, look at the roundness, look at the
Yeah.
leaves, things like
Yeah.
that really
Uh,
inspire me. So I can
right.
take something like that, the purple
Right.
and the depths of the green, and I can bring it back into my art.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Do you do the pressed flowers or the eco dyeing?
I do not do the eco dyeing because of time factor.
Hmm.
I give credit where credit is due for others. I do
Yeah.
what I do best and I stick with that. Otherwise, that makes me spread out too thin.
Right.
I
Right.
want to, that's probably where I keep my boundaries the most, is that I know what I do best and I try to stay within that. I absolutely love pressed flowers. I could do pressed
Hmm.
flowers for hours and hours and hours, but those are the
Right.
things that I have to limit myself to. I do
Right.
purchase pressed flowers from other people who do them better.
Oh, gotcha.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Right. Yes. Yes. I can spread myself too thin too you because I want to do it all, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody on YouTube or on the internet that inspires you the most without hurting anybody's feelings, but what is there anybody there that you have to follow that you get the most out of
Oh,
other than
absolutely.
Annalie? I love her.
Um, I do. I look for people on YouTube to inspire me in ways that I feel that I'm not good at.
Uh-huh.
Louise Heinzel,
Mm-hmm.
she pushes me outside of my box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, Barbara from 49 Dragonflies
Mm-hmm.
is
Yes.
also another one. Within my own team, Tracy Fox from Love Junk Journals, I too am a team member on her team, or designer
Oh.
team.
Oh
Um,
yeah. She does
and
good stuff.
her digitals are
Right.
fantastic.
Oh,
Some
I know.
in the same category as Tim Holtz, but only in
Right.
digital.
Yes.
Oh my
I was
God.
that same idea went through my head just the other day. Is like she could be the new Tim Holtz paper person. Since he doesn't.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she's good. Some of her stuff is just outrageous.
Excellent, excellent. And just because I have a daughter who is in the the social end of it and graphics, and so she tells
Oh,
me how many layers it has to be in
oh yeah.
order to design something like that, and that alone blows me away.
I
And
know.
so Tracy does it so well, so
Yeah,
well.
and
And so Tracy is another one.
uh-huh.
Within my own design team of Elizabeth Craft,
Mm-hmm.
every single one of David's team, and I'm trying to keep it just within David's team.
Uh-huh.
There is Jennifer, there is Heather, there is it's the names. I'm only one of few that in the United States team, and everybody else is in the Netherlands and
Oh,
is in
oh, yeah,
Spain
yeah.
and Portugal, and David's team is really pushes me, and they are just really true artists because
Wow. Oh,
they
that'd be
come.
fun.
Oh, it is, and
Yeah.
those are the people that I really gravitate because they are true to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They are genuine, and
Mm-hmm.
they, I followed you. I found you on social media quite a few years ago before
Right.
you moved to Montana
Uh-huh.
and or a different place. And
Yeah, different place.
yeah, and I just was there's always something in that person that attracts me to them because
Yeah.
they have their uniqueness.
Yeah,
And
that's interesting. Yeah, you can glean something from almost anybody, can't you?
yes, yes,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, you have a lot of people that you love. Well,
Yes.
you want to see my YouTube favorites list or whatever you call that. It's like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
300 or more or something. I don't know. My
I feel you
subscriber.
there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so is there anything else you want to tell our audience today?
Well, first of all, thank you again. This has just been such a delight. I love having coffee with you.
Yes, I know. That's fun, isn't it?
It is. And second of all, I always ask people to like, share, and comment. I really do take those comments to heart, and I
I
think
do
about
too.
those comments. Follow me on all of my social media. We will link all of that below. And all
Right.
of my mixed media, everything that I do is for sale.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Yeah, good.
I
Ooh,
really do put a lot
you
into my mixed media, whether it's the journaling or whether it's the refurbishing. I do a lot of refurbish. As you can see behind me, there's the violin and the computer bug. It's on a panel here, computer bug. Here's just a really wonderful
Oh,
wonderful
yeah,
thing that
that's
you
cool.
I
That's neat.
literally I took panels off of a computer. Here's a hard drive.
Oh, cool.
And there
That's
is
great. Wow,
and
that's really innovative.
yeah, it's just all
That's
kinds
really
of junk.
thinking outside the box. Yeah,
It's all kinds of junk, and you can see the 3D to it. And there's
yeah.
just paintbrush, scissors, hard drives, just junk, just junk.
Just fun. Yeah, and it turns into art. Isn't that great? This era of people using junk to make art, it's like me going to the junkyard. It's like that stuff is just, where's it going to go? We got to
Right.
use it,
Yeah, yeah. It
you
really.
know? It's
So
kind of
yeah.
fun.
I
Great.
just love doing what I do, and I love inspiring others, and I love
Right.
teaching, and it is just thoroughly a gift. It really is. It's thoroughly
Yes.
a gift. If I can bring joy to another human, if I can just sit and listen and have coffee with them, it
Mm-hmm.
is that my day's done.
That's great.
Hmm.
Our junk journaling and art journaling community on YouTube is growing so fast, and mostly for the most part, it's just full of wonderful people.
Oh,
There
yes.
aren't too many. I
Yes.
don't know of anybody that's not a gracious, wonderful person. And it's fun
Yes.
to get to know them, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
real.
community like the journaling and art communities
Yes,
because it's like-minded people and we support each other and we are there for each other no matter what life throws us.
right.
And, we need these communities because
Mm-hmm.
these communities are the thing that gives us life
Right,
and
right.
helps us go on, especially in our hardest times of
Right, and there's hope
life.
there that,
Yes,
people are
yes,
people are nice and friendly and wonderful and caring, and that gives us hope
yeah,
in this world.
yes, like-minded people.
Yes, I know. Well, thank you very much, Janet. Wow, this was really an informative and fun interview for me. I learned a lot, and I'm really taken with you and your art. It's
Oh,
very
thank you.
very fun, and you're very what do I say? You're really a go-getter. I mean, you're somebody to follow for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I
well, thank
really
you.
like
I
your
do
stuff.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
Let's
and
just
I
take
oh,
two
go
friends
ahead.
and some coffee.
Yeah, yeah, I know. We ought to do this more often. We don't have to record.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
right.
you so much. I so appreciate you reaching out to me
Oh,
and
yes. Well, you were on
great.
one of my top ones that I wanted to interview, so
Thank
I'm
you. I
so glad you
appreciate
accepted. Well, I want to thank our audience too for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up or a comment or a share it with a friend. And I've listed all of Janet's information below. Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, thank you very much. I have a
Thank you,
great
Janet.
time. All
Oh, I'm
right.
so glad I did too. See you later. Bye
We'll talk
bye.
and bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.